Hi, my name is Ed Volcic. I am KUKA Robotics Chief Regional Technology Officer for North America. I'm happy to be here with you today to talk a little bit about a machine tool tending cell that we have on display. So starting here on the right side of the cell, you'll see that the overall setup of this particular automation solution is something you typically see in a machine shop. You have raw materials coming in on the very right-hand side, a robot processing those raw materials, and ultimately being delivered to a machining center where they're machined and processed. So here you can see the robot is using bin picking technology here to identify a bin full of parts, identify parts that it can pick out, simulate, and put them onto a tray, which will be then transported over to a machining center. The interesting technologies here in the vision system include a photoneo bin picking solution. So photoneo is a 3D vision solution which identifies randomly placed parts inside of a bin and giving information to the robot system to then go and pick those parts inside the bin. Once the robot successfully picks the part out of the bin, it places it onto a tray. It's actually placing it onto a little stand here where it's reorienting it so that it can place it successfully onto a tray. Once the robot has put a number of parts onto the tray, you'll see here it's being serviced by a KUKA mobile platform. In this case, it's a KMP 1500P, which is capable of lifting up to 1,500 kilograms in parts. What the KMP is doing here is it's waiting for the tray to be filled up. Once it's filled, it's going to remove that full tray from that cell, spin around, place an empty tray back into that cell so that the robot can keep moving forward with its bin picking operation. Then the KMP is going to deliver the parts over to a machining center, which we'll see here in a minute. So as you can see right here, the robot is removing a full tray of parts. It'll turn around, place an empty tray into the fixture, and then you'll see it move over to the machine tool. So the KMP uses SLAM navigation, which is using LiDAR or lasers embedded in the robot to scan the environment and look for the station that it's docking into. In this case, it's docking into the stand there, where it's going to place the empty rack. Once placed, the KMP is going to move forward now and move over to the station where it's going to deliver the parts. While this is going on, you can see a second KMP just off to the right of the first KMP, which has a conveyor system mounted to it. The conveyor system in this case is used to transport bins of parts from a full station to the station where they're going to be unloaded by the robot. Now let's follow this KMP 1500P here, which is going to deliver parts to a machining center. In this case, the machining center is being serviced by a KUKA Agilis robot. What's interesting about this particular cell is the machining center here is using Sinumeric by Siemens and MX Automation to interface with the KUKA robot controller. MX Automation provides a really easy to use interface for Sinumeric programmers to be able to easily program the KUKA robot and interface with it. So these programmers don't need to know the KUKA robot programming language. They can simply use the tool set that they're comfortable with using Sinumeric to do all of the programming and coordination of the robot as it picks parts from the trays, places it into the machining center, and then pulls parts out of the machining center and dumps them into the bin. So you see here the robot's identifying parts on the tray to pick, placing them into the machine tool where they're going to be machined. Once the machining is done, the parts are pulled out of the machine and placed into the bin. The KMP 1500P, here the platform that's moving the parts between the stations, has in it an integrated lift, which is capable of lifting, as I mentioned earlier, 1,500 kilogram payload, lifting it out of the station and moving it to a different station. All of the KMP's movements are being managed through KUKA's fleet management software, KUKA.AMR Fleet, which coordinates and sends all of the missions to each of the KMP 1500Ps to go and pick up trays, move trays or bins in a coordinated fashion. The fleet management software handles all of the traffic management, handles all of the requests from each of the cells for pickup and drop-offs.